The Oster 5838-33 Expressbake bread machine is a widely distributed model that has been discontinued but supports a very large market for used parts. The problem with this model, however, despite being very popular and being a great entry-level bread machine, is that units still in service are not worth a lot. This directly affects the value of used parts and whether or not the bread machine is worth fixing or not. Still, you can glean a few dollars from a handful of used parts that are easily removed from this machine. These parts include the circuit board housing with control panel Mylar as one unit, the lid with good condition viewing glass as one unit, bread pans in very good condition with stirring paddles, the circuit board itself, the stirring spindle housing if in very good condition, and good condition drive belts and heating elements. This machine's going to be scrapped once I take all the parts out of it that I want. What I'm after today is the element. This element's in good condition. It is a part that you are likely to sell as a used part, and I just like to have a few parts handy because I buy these things all the time. All the screws in the top have to come out, and then there's two hidden screws underneath these hinge assemblies. They're actually holding part of this top seal in. There's two standoffs that they screw into. You have to remember to get those out of there. So I'm not going to bore you with taking all the screws out, but you want an automatic tool for doing that sort of thing. Now this front will pop right off, and this exposes everything inside. And this, with a little bit of work, will come out. You have to be careful because it has, I'll show you in a second. Okay, you can see little indentations here where this clips in. They're all like that on the inside. It's actually a little bit difficult to get out at first, but you have to think like a car thief. This is flexible here. These sides are flexible, and you can easily pop them out as you're pulling it up. So now everything's exposed here. We don't have to take the screws that are inside the stirring mechanism in there. This is a housing that is attached to this bottom plate inside the machine. What we do have to do is we have to take those 4 screws out that are holding the pan to that housing. Now the baking chamber pan comes right out. The reason you have to go this far with it, there are like nuts attached to this. That nut may stay in place, but to do it properly, you want to take them both off. So you need access to this back here. Same with this here. If you can see down there, there's a nut. So we'll get down right here. You see where the element is attached down in there. This is just basically a wire caddy. It's not, there's nothing attached there other than the fact that this little piece of steel is holding these wires in place. That is a screw inside if you wanted to release that. But that's actually how you change an element in one of these machines. Slide off these connectors, and you basically can pop this element, replace this element that easily. But it does have to come out, the pan does have to come right out to do that. To take this down further, I now need to undo a bunch more screws. There it is, voila. The entire motor assembly. Everything right out of the unit. I'm even going to strip it down further from this, but this housing now is, this goes into the recycling. The next thing we are after here is the circuit board, which is just a matter of removing 3 screws and disconnecting a few wires. The circuit board, the heating element, and the drive belt are all that I will be taking from this unit today. The mixing spindle housing would be another part I would consider putting into my used parts inventory, but not this one. The reason this machine is being parted and scrapped is because I already know that this spindle housing is worn. With an imperfect control panel Mylar and scratches on the viewing glass, it is not worth the effort to bring this unit back into good condition. One thing worth mentioning about the Oster 5838-33 bread machine is that I only ran into one tamper-proof screw while disassembling it, shown here at the base of the transformer. It was a split slotted head screw, and fortunately I have this specific bit. All other screws in this machine were various size Phillips head screws. But this is not always the case, and if you are thinking of parting out these types of machines, you will need to be prepared for this. When parting out any small appliance, it is also important to consider what constitutes a consumer replaceable part. A simple rule of thumb is that if it is too difficult for you to remove or to ship, it is best not sold. As we sign off, let's review what parts you can resell from this machine, and as always, I hope to see you next time.
When the stars won't shine for you, and your dreams turn black and blue, on those dark nights you'll be alright, I'll be right there with you. Together we'll see it through. When the stars won't shine for you, and your dreams turn black and blue, on those dark nights you'll be alright, I'll be right there with you. Together we'll see it through.